Black Politicians TV, man. Who we got with us today?
Bowman official, man, on every platform. Bowman official, Bowman creative. So we can find it.
And how you doing today, my brother?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. You know how I do,
Yes,
man.
sir.
I ask everybody, man, what you eat today?
Well, I made a breakfast burrito this morning for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? From the crib, little eggs, little black beans. You know what I'm saying? A little mild sauce from Taco Bell left over from last night. Turkey sausage. No pork. Um, what else I have? A turkey burger. I had a turkey burger if I left the crib. Yeah.
So how long you been doing the no pork thing?
And honestly, probably 5, 6 years. I mean, it's just something I naturally do. I buy turkey products, so I think that's just this is something I started doing, man. I feel like you can feel the difference with pork on your body. You know what I'm saying, flowing through your veins and everything. You feel the difference of the heaviness and the sluggishness. So yeah, I cut that out, man. Just do the turkey, ground turkey products.
So you got into that, like you said, like 5, 6 years ago. So 5, 6 years ago, what mindset you was in to make you, I ain't gonna say vegan or whatever, but you was just doing no pork and doing the turkey. But what mindset you was in, like to make you say, I need to treat my body better?
I think the biggest thing is when it comes to like if you're not working out, you know what I'm saying, or if you're not, going outside doing any fitness, anything physical and exercising, the best thing or the other alternative is to just eat better. So I think that's kind of what started it for me.
Oh, so you didn't play any sports or anything?
Not 5, 6 years ago. Nah, I played about every sport growing up, but yeah, just body start giving out on you. Your mid 20s, you start doing a little less. So
So growing up, like, what sports did you play?
man, I think I started off playing baseball. A lot of us, play baseball growing up, but we don't stick with it because it ain't the most popular thing to do growing up. But we don't realize how much money it makes you as you get older. So I started playing baseball. I started playing football after that. And I got into middle school. I started running track and wrestling, and those kind of were the sports that took off for me more than anything else.
Oh, so you wrestle too? So, like,
Mm-hmm.
was you trying to like go into like the MMA, UFC world, or?
Honestly, I hadn't even heard of that when I started wrestling and stuff. When I was middle school, I started wrestling. Then I got to high school and I was wrestling. I was still good at it. I was really good at it, so I just kept doing it. Thought I'd maybe go to college doing it, but I switched to the football route, and that's when I went and played ball in college. But yeah, man, I didn't learn about MMA till probably till about after the time I got out of high school. So for me, I thought it was cool, but like ain't nobody about to hit me in my face. So yeah, I pass on that one.
So when you was in like high school, middle school, like when did you realize that you was that guy, that you was Al B? When did you realize
Man,
that, man?
I would probably say like junior year of high school. Yeah, I'm gonna say junior year. Middle school probably wasn't it for me, man. I used to get picked on a lot. I got bullied a little bit early on until I hit my growth spurt.
Do you want to speak on that? Like, how did that affect
I
you?
mean, I would say to me, I feel like it's a different. That was a different time. We talking like 01, 02, 03 type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, it was more like of course, you try to figure out why people messing with you, right? Like, I've always been a deep thinker, so I've always want to know, like, what are you doing this for? Like, if I didn't bother you, but I don't think it affected me in a negative way. I think it toughened me up a little bit because at that point, of course, for a while, people push you for a little while, then you start pushing back, right? So I think that kind of gave me the confidence growing as I got a little older to speak up and to like I said, I mean, it wasn't anything to the point, it wasn't anything extreme, right? People just saying little funny stuff and stuff like that. So you get a little older, you realize, all right, kids are kids, right? Like it was never anything to where it was like detrimental to my health or anything like that.
Do you feel like it wasn't that detrimental because at the time there was no social media when you was being bullied?
Man, that's a good question. I'ma still say no. I think it was just normal. You know what I'm saying? Little names, little stuff like that. I mean, it's hard to imagine that time though because like cell phones are just. Man, I mean, I don't think we even really wanted cell phones like maybe like a year or two after that, or in that time, in that middle school gap. That's when it was. But I would say no only because it still wasn't anything extreme. Like the stuff that was going on, like somebody might laugh at your shoes or
Yeah, I'm
your
trying to put
haircut. You
myself.
know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to put myself in your shoes because you know what I'm saying. You like to me, you always been that guy, the fly guy. So you got to give us some of those jokes. Like, what was they saying? What was they
Oh
saying
man,
about you?
Oh, I mean, like like the clothes you wear. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have on some shoes, like back then, like Air Force Ones was running the world, right? And like maybe like Fubu brand, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't have that on, or your outfit didn't match, right? Because back then everything had to match. You talking early 2000s, right? Back then, if your clothes was wrinkly, like everything that's in style now was not. It was polar opposite. You know what I'm saying? So I think I had on like an anime shirt. Like we was not on anime back then. So like that was something I wore. I didn't know about the anime. It was just a shirt. My mom, what I'm saying? My mom bought me a shirt. I wore the shirt, right? 12 years old, you ain't thinking about that. So, like stuff like that, or even, like a random thing they used to say, like random joke, or they would say, like people walk around, they call me Al Burrito, right? It makes
Albert
no sense, right?
Alberito.
It makes no sense.
Okay.
It makes no sense. So like, it's one of the things I'm
Yeah,
just
that's some middle school look. Just
exactly
trying to find something like
petty.
with your name was
It's
Alberito,
it's
but
just like,
it probably had you tight though.
I mean, for a little bit it did, but then I realized I'm like, y'all don't make no sense. Like I've been pretty logical my entire life, right? I think I've always had a good head on my shoulders, so I realized I'm like, man, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't equate to anything. So it didn't bother me to that point. I'm just like, y'all being dumb, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't being like, when I say bully, like it wasn't like, what I'm saying, beat down type bully, right? It was just more like, kids being kids.
So where did that like come from? Like you always being on your Q, always being. Well, I ain't gonna say Q. I'm gonna say your A. And we'll get there later on.
Right.
But but always just being on your A game. Like, how was your growing up? Like, what did you had your mom and pop in the household? Was it just single mom, single father? Like, how was your household? How was that growing up?
Growing up, I had a mom and an aunt. Yeah,
Hmm.
so I was raised by two women, my mom and my aunt. My aunt, of course, was my mom's little sister. Is my mom's little sister. So it just raised by them, man. My mom being super level headed. We're very similar as I get older. When you get older, you realize how similar you are to other people that you grew up around. So it was her and my aunt. My aunt was a little more high energy. She was the one that would discipline me. She was the one that was on me about like stuff all the time. My mom was just, just she was there to make sure that she was raising a good person. So I got the yin and the yang from the two of them. But definitely my mom for sure, just being level headed, and my aunt and just making good decisions and being a rational person. I think just common sense was a big thing growing up for me, and just making good decisions. So I think that's where it really came from, because to me everything I have to make sense of it, right?
Definitely.
And if I don't make sense of it, I have to break it down and then gather understanding it. Then I can develop a plan to move forward in whatever I'm doing. So it came from both of them.
So when you talk about the yin yang, correct? They say men that are raised by women is either one or two things: a lover boy or a playboy. Which one are you?
Honestly, I'd probably say I'm a lover boy, man. I think 'cause I think that at the end of the day, just being a person that cares in general, right? Um, you grow up, you see, you know, you've seen a hurt woman before, right? So I think that it kind of helps propel you to do right by people, do right by women, or at least to have an understanding and put yourself in other people's shoes, right? Because as a child, you see, a mom or aunt going through something with a man, right? So I
Hmm.
think that it does it kind of changes your mentality a bit. But I would definitely say lover boy to answer that question for sure.
So like growing up, did like you have any like stepdads or like they came in and out, or how was that situation? If you don't mind talking
No, no,
about it,
no,
just
yeah,
asking.
no, we on podcast, bro, here. So no, I did not. I had what, three uncles growing up, so I definitely had male figures. Then I did get a stepdad at 18, like right after I graduated from high school. Which took some it took some adjusting because I wasn't there, right? I went off to college, so me popping in and out, I kind of developed a relationship in time, but that ended up like you realize the difference between someone being a stepdad but also someone being a husband to your mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to see how a man treats a woman, is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to treat a woman. You get to see how you get to see the difference in what you didn't have growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely appreciate him, for everything he's done for me and for my mom. And yeah, he just, he's a prime example of what you want to be to a wife or what you want to be to your children. So.
So I have a theory
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about a level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm coming to like a more understanding on how our mothers and women back in the day like respected the familyhood and their kids, he probably was in your life secretly, but couldn't be in your life publicly until you left the house because she probably told him that you probably felt the way. Like, do you feel like was his presence there before you went out the house? Like, do you remember just seeing him out like you know what I'm saying? You know, like
So
you be like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah. So
you
look,
miss.
now that you so when of course asking that and as you said it, like I reflected, and the answer is yes for sure. And I do agree there was a respect factor there, right? Because you know it's easy for someone that's been in your shoes or that kind of has an idea of what how you may be feeling to try to love you from afar or to try to, issue you
Mm-hmm,
guidance from afar or to just be present, but to tell, my mom, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do because of, the mutual, it's always been respect,
mm-hmm.
so I think that showed me a lot early on. And that's why I say our relationship has always been great because of that. I think because of that respect factor, because of the space that was given when it started, right? Because some people try to come into your life, well, I don't know, some people potentially could try to come into your life and be a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's demanding or whether it's, too pushy, or anything to, and that wasn't the case with my situation. So I'm grateful for that.
So it's always been about respect, and we speak about respect,
Mm-hmm.
but we also speak about our adolescent years. Can you like tell your mom right now on the podcast a time where you disrespected her word in high school,
Oh, yeah.
like something that she don't know about?
Oh, nah, I mean, honestly, man, just as a,
We need the real. We need a real story. We need to, you know what I'm saying? Not even those scenarios.
nah, just lying about where I went with the car when I didn't have a license, man. I did it a few times. So like before I got my license, she taught me how to drive.
Hmm.
I took driver's ed. I couldn't get my license for whatever. We don't think about car insurance when we take driver's ed. We just like, oh snap, I can drive. We don't know about all that. So I didn't get to drive. I didn't get my license because I didn't get insurance stuff at the time. But my mom would let me drive a couple places, right? I get to drive to the grocery store I worked at, or I could drive to football practice, that on a Saturday, or something of that nature. But one time, man, I just lied about where I was going, and I went to see a girl. Actually, probably about 2 or 3 times. I lied where I was going. I went to go see a girl, and finally, I got caught.
I'm gonna tell you how you got caught though. In those 2, 3 times to go seeing a girl, did anything bad happen? Tire went flat, ran
Oh,
out of gas. Like,
nah. So
like,
that didn't happen. But what did happen was me and one of my boys, we went to go see two
yeah,
girls.
a little too man.
And so I stopped by the house, of course, being dumb, not realizing our moms knew each other.
Mm,
So I wasn't supposed to be over there. It was
mm,
on the other side of town.
mm.
And I go over there and I pick up my boy and then his mom. And of course, I get home and then the next day my mom talking about something random. I'm like, oh yeah, I went here, boom, boom, boom. And then she's like, that's all you did. I was like, yeah. She's like, you sure? Yeah. She's like, well, such a mama did call me and said she appreciate you picking them up. I was like, dang,
Caught me.
I mean,
Screenshots.
clean.
Busted. It's
And
two in
I
the
was just
morning. Where
like,
you be?
that's that. So yeah, I mean, that happened, but she was good with it, man, in terms of understanding, a kid gonna be a kid and kids gonna make mistakes. So it was never anything like crazy in terms of punishment. She's like, give my keys, hope you
Hmm.
learned your lesson. And so I always appreciated how she handled things, and I try to do the same.
So speaking on motherhood and discipline in the household, and also speaking on like your adolescent years, like tell me some things that you did to put like a you know what I'm saying, a big smile on your mom's face. Like in high school, we're not gonna
Yeah,
get to we just
yeah,
taking it slow.
for sure. I would say probably just I think I think the biggest thing is probably just being who she wanted me to be or being who she expected me to be by raising me. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I think to go specifically, whether it be doing well academically, sports like getting offers to play football in school, getting offers to wrestle in school, coming home with trophies from ROTC, coming home with medals from tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Just accomplishing things because at the end of the day, all she wanted me to be with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It was never a direct. This is what you're gonna do with your life. And as I got older, I always respected that because it was always just be someone productive. She always can show me an example of who not to be and what not to be,
Mm.
but she may not have had an exact way of showing me who to be and what to be. So she let me figure it out on my own, but she gave me the foundation to just be a good person, treat people how I want to be treated, how they should be treated, and just carry on life, with a good heart. So I think just doing the things that she would expect, especially just making life easier on a single parent. I think that's really all she can ask for. So I think just doing those little things and go getting a job at 17, you know what I'm saying? Running around, make sure I'm taking care of the house, chores without her having to ask. Like those things all put a smile on her face, man. So I think that those are things that I can just stand on looking back and just saying like, man, I didn't give my mom grief growing up, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of things.
So you left high school.
Mm-hmm.
You fumbled around before you got to Fayetteville State,
Mm-hmm.
the illustrious Fayetteville State University.
Dang.
So before you got there, he said, "Look, we got my boy LB, man. Black Politics TV, bro. Hey, man, before you got the Fayetteville State, you fumbled around. What happened?
Well, I went to another school my freshman year of college. I played ball. Found out I was academically ineligible after the first semester. My core GPA was too low. I didn't know what a core GPA was. Right, you live and you learn. So I was what 0.2 too
Sorry
low.
to interrupt you, but we talking about an alpha man who didn't know what a core GPA was. Okay,
Because he
continue.
wasn't the alpha man. Was not an alpha man.
Yeah, not at the time, but I'm saying we talking about an alpha man who didn't
but
know what a core
but
GPA
yeah.
was.
So
Yeah.
I got called into the office. The head coach brought me in. I had just made my way off the practice squad. Started dressing out for games. As a freshman, working my way up and found out I was ineligible, and they just dropped me. You know what I'm saying? So they were just like, you can go work out if you
Mm.
want. You can come back next year. And at that point, you just kind of feel like you're in. You don't feel valuable to anybody. They didn't offer me tutoring. They didn't offer me anything.
1 second, bro, please, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a moment of silence for you getting dropped from the roster, bro? Okay.
Right.
Everybody, I can't. Why did they drop my boy?
Yeah, just the grades, man. And then it's like, but you realize in these programs and how they're set up, man, you really realize that like you're expendable, or when
Mm.
you're not generating, value to them, how expendable you can be. But I say that to say, it was a great experience. I learned a lot, met a lot of great people that I'm still friends with today. So anyway, after that school year ended, I went home for the summer. I worked on my grades a bit, but I think I got the call to report back for summer camp because my grades were good. I was eligible, and I went to my mom and I'm just like, I don't want to go back there. I didn't like it there. I hated it there, and I didn't want to go back. So she said, cool, because she's always been supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, she's like, well, get you a job, go to community college, or like what's your next step? Like that's
Yeah, I
fine.
got you. Tell me
What's
what's
your next
going
step?
on.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
that it maybe that warmed my heart because it's hard to tell people, especially certain people, certain
Mm-hmm.
things that you think will disappoint them. So we had that conversation. Everything was cool. I got a job, working fast food, and I went to community college, and community college, I just took it as a joke. I didn't take it serious. I was worried about working, just making money. And I ended up, flunking out really, just being academically ineligible. I didn't have any financial aid, so I couldn't go to school unless I
Mm.
paid out of pocket. So,
That made mama mad.
yeah. So,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, though, I would have never known because she didn't show it.
Mm-hmm.
So what she say? All right, so what you gonna do next? Excuse me. So that happened, and that's when I decided to go into the military. So I realized I had an opportunity for school benefits, for benefits to take care of my child, and just things that came in to assist me in the areas that I was lacking in, where I just felt like I needed some help, and just just a little something to guidance, something to kind of guide me for a little while. I needed something because I was just kind of going with the flow at that point. I was kind of living in
Mm.
limbo for a little bit. I was working, going through in and outs of daily motions, but I needed more. So I joined the military. uh, and that was an experience in itself.
Where was you stationed?
So what I ended up doing is I went active duty and I switched to National Guard before I even. So I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and then I ended up going to Fort Lee, Virginia. So when I did that, I actually ended up being able. I came back home, so I came back to do. The National Guard is state funded. It's like the reserves, but the reserves are federally funded. It's state
Mm-hmm.
funded. I just go to training once a month, and I go two weeks out the summer. I'll go to training somewhere wherever they sent us. So I did that, and that actually got me academically eligible to go back to college.
Mm-hmm.
So they came to me and they said the GPA starts back at zero. These classes transfer over. You can go to school anywhere in the state.
So you chose to go to Federal State. Was you in any type of programs, any cheer programs in order to get there because of your grades, or you went straight there?
I went straight there. I transferred in. I transferred in with enough credits to be a sophomore, so I transferred in as a sophomore. Um, and that it made it pretty easy on me because the veterans office kind of got me situated and they integrated me in, and I just came straight in, took a freshman class, and that was it.
So who are some of your like first no, let's take it back, man. I can't act like I don't know Al B. Where was you staying at your freshman year? What dorm?
Oh, so I commuted. I did not stay in a dorm at all. I came as a sophomore, like I said, and I'm from Fayetteville, so I just stayed at my mom's my first year, and then I got an apartment the next year with a friend of mine. We was roommates. So yeah, I never actually stayed. I stayed in UPA one semester at the end, my last semester in college.
You know it's crazy, bro. And people have to appreciate mothers and mothers that's excuse me, mothers that's doing their job and making sure that the child is protected and the child got guidance. Because as we going through this interview, bro, like, do we need to do a tally? You probably said mom over 1,000 times. Like, you feel me? But like, bro, like that's how we know that like mothers are like, you feel me? Like, so like, what's one thing you want to tell your mom? Like, before we get back into the what's the name, I just want to take a little segment, bro, because that just touched me, bro. Like, you know, I could tell that I can tell that, like you say, you had uncles and you had other people out there, but you were like, nah, y'all ain't smarter than my mom.
Oh
Nah, y'all don't got the sauce like mom.
nah, I
So
mean,
what is like you feel me? So what is some things you want to tell your? I'm gonna give you however long you want, and I want you to just spill it to your mom, bro.
oh really? It ain't gonna take too long, man. Honestly, if I can tell her anything, it's just the fact that I appreciate you. I love you. I watched you sacrifice. I saw everything you did, whether you thought I saw it or not, and I remember things that you may not think I remember. That also exude, the mother that you are. And I appreciate you, and every day, I'm still working to make you proud. That's really it.
Definitely, bro. So I seen like, well, not seen, but heard and felt the rumbles of the stomach. And when you got to Federal State, you know, you started meeting people,
Mm-hmm.
you started doing your thing. So before we talk about, you gotta be better. Before we talk about like who you became, I also have a, you know what I'm saying? You feel me for me, bro? Look, I got a little gift for you.
Wow.
I got a little gift for you. Would you like a snack? Would you like a snack? Would you like a snack?
It feels like what's the
It's natural. It came from look the host food. That's good. That's a nice banana pause. But you can break that up. You don't have to eat that live. But
Thank
so man, when you got a Federal State, bro, and like when it like when did the fraternity that you chose? When did they choose you? Like when did you find that? Like because you done went through all this. Your mama saying go back. Like bro, you done flunked out. You're a flunky. Alpha men not flunkies.
you. Mm-hmm.
Like
True.
you didn't even know what a core GPA was, and that's not alpha man like.
I mean,
So where did this come from? Because I didn't even know that about
yeah. So and most people don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't
you.
really share. I don't share that too much. I mean, unless they know me personally, right? So I usually don't don't tell it, but I tell it in a way now because I think I wasn't proud of it, but now I am. Now it's a part of my story, right? It's really a testament to like you do whatever you want, you make a way for yourself, you gonna get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so we talking about how Alpha and I found each other. I mean, honestly, I get to the school, I don't really know too many people other than the people I know locally that are wrapping up school, right? Because technically my class would have graduated the year before. So there's
Mm-hmm.
a couple people that are still finishing classes that I knew. There's people I just happen to know from around
Hold
there.
on, slow it down. So you saying by the time you went to Federal State, the people that you was cool with was graduating?
Yeah, because I graduated high school in '08,
Yeah.
so 12 would have been the graduating class.
Mm-hmm.
I got to school at 13. I got fall of 13 is when I started.
So you still didn't lose confidence in yourself.
Oh no.
You still like, even though you seen what levels of like what they call it, scholastics, what's the word,
Yeah.
whatever you seen what people was above on you on, you still had some determination in you.
I mean, honestly, I think what we have to be able to identify is when we're not giving our best,
Hmm.
right? And so I can openly admit to say I was not giving my best. I wasn't focused, right? It wasn't the fact that I just couldn't do it. It was just the fact that I was doing other things and prioritizing other things. So when I went back in 2013, I told myself my school is paid for, the military is paying for this. Like, and if you fail or if you get below a C in core class, I know what core classes are now, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
get a C in core classes, below a C, right? You have to retake it. They're not gonna pay for it. So there was a lot riding on it, right? And then at this time, I'm back in my parents' home. There's a lot of things that I said. There's a lot of people depending on me.
And that's what I'm trying to figure out about
Yeah.
you. Because in that time, like when you say, like, because not to discredit community colleges or
Mm-hmm.
any first step situations to get to a university, or in your case, that would say the illustrious university. But like,
Yeah.
but why weren't you focused, bro? Was it girls? I could tell you wasn't in gangs. You wasn't in, like in the streets. Was it alcohol? Was it girls? Was it like weed? Was it music? Was you
I'm
doing
gonna
graffiti on the trains? What is going on?
I'm gonna say
How LB fell off twice?
community. So the first time I didn't fail out, I just didn't go
No,
back.
I said fell off.
Oh, no, fell out, yeah, yeah, for sure. So freshman year when I decided not to go back, I just didn't like where I was at, and my head wasn't focused on school, right? So it's a private school, so at that point, if I'm not on scholarship, that's out of pocket expenses. So it just made the most sense not to go back there. But community college, oh yeah, I was in limbo, man. Like I was just doing other stuff. I go to class when I want to, just not focused, being nonchalant, not taking it serious. That's really what it is. A lot of times for us, we don't take things serious, or we have to see the results of. And that's a part where I lost focus temporarily, compared to what I used to do, because I was always academically pretty solid growing up. And I think I just realized that at that moment, I was like, oh, this is serious. Now you're telling me I can't come back unless I pay out of
Can we
pocket.
be honest?
Yeah.
What girl had your attention, man?
Oh, I was with my child's mother at the time. So,
That's why
yeah.
we being honest. What girl had your attention, man?
Yeah, my child's mother.
So I was gonna wait to get into like fatherhood
Mm-hmm.
and situations like that because you messing up my notes right now, man. Hey. Shout out to Larry June, man. Look, we need Larry June on the podcast, but we got LB right now, man. My brother, man, real alpha man. But at the same time, how do you feel about like fatherhood? Because like I can understand, like I had a child at 21, but you had a child younger than that. You failed grades. You dropped out. You flunked out. Whatever. I'm gonna count those first two as X's. XX, like you flunked out. You failed out. Whatever. You didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but people didn't know other stuff that you had going on.
Right.
You want to speak on that?
I mean, so yeah, I had a child at 21. I got into school at 23. So on top of like working part time, going to school, being a parent, just it's it's a lot. I think that at the same time though, it breeds you to be ready for a lot of other things, right?
Mm.
You learn how to multitask. You learn how to, you learn how to put yourself on the back burner, right? Put someone else first. You learn to prioritize what's really important. these things that we think are important at that age, right? I can't think they're important because I have someone else to worry about, someone else to tend to. So I think it did mature me, but I also, like I said, I looked at it as an area of focus because whether it be my mom or my parents, watching my child for me while I'm in classes, it made it even more important to say I can't screw this up because I got people that are supporting me in a capacity while I'm doing this. So it just added more value to what I was doing to me and to be more focused and take care of business.
Facts. Hey, bro.
Talk to me.
You know what's crazy, bro? I'm trying to go by my notes, but at the same time, I'm like, man, we got LB right here. Like, bro, when I first met you, bro, you was like a fly dude. You know what I'm saying? Fly gentleman, and like you always like being on your. I can't even say P's and Q's. I can't say Q's.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I mean,
It's a term. You can say it.
I mean, but I don't want. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody.
Yeah, ain't
I don't want
nobody.
the brothers, your
Yeah.
brothers attacking me
No, you
in
good. You good.
the, in the comments, but you was just on your cues, bro.
Yeah.
So as you started going along and started learning more about being an alpha man, like who is somebody that you I ain't gonna say idolize, but like you looked up to like a mentor, like yo, that was an alpha.
Like that I knew personally,
Nah, not that you
or
knew personally. We
or
gonna
just
get into personally,
okay,
but
okay.
somebody just like nigga, I'm watching you. You better be watching me. I know I'm young. I know I don't know much, but I'm on like a you know what I'm saying?
Uh, man, that's a tough one. I feel like I observe everybody, man. So I feel like I'm always watching people and what they got going on, or at that time, especially because I'm just learning, right? Like I didn't know much about fraternities and sororities prior to me being in one, right? So like I had learned everything on the fly. So I don't think there was a specific person that I really just like, because I'm learning at this point. I'm an open book, so I'm like, what you got going on? What you got going on? What are you doing? What are you doing? Or how do you do that? So I don't think I have anybody specific, man. Honestly,
Okay,
that
so
I knew personally.
let's keep it basic. So you at Fayetteville State,
Mm-hmm.
you chilling. You
Yeah.
see the alphas come out. You see the honorable Phi Beta. Like, nah, look, look, you see the Sims come out. You know what I'm saying? You see the Qs come out. You see the Kappas come out. But like, what? Oh, also the IOTAs. Now I ain't mean to say also the IOTAs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I got real brothers that you know what I'm saying, that I rock with the IOTAs. Definitely. But like, what made you say, something about them alphas? Was it Martin Luther King?
I mean, part of my research actually, yeah. Part of my is this man. There's a lot of and of course that goes with every organization, but there's a lot of like
Definitely.
people honorable men in the fraternities, right, women for the sororities that have done some amazing things. So I think it just adds to like just the culture and the presumed expectation, right, that that you want to live up to. But I would just say for me, at that time on campus, it was just more so the fact that I had class with a lot of these guys and I saw a lot of the programs that they did, and I just liked what they represented that I got to see firsthand. So at that point, to me, it was kind of a no brainer to kind of where my interest came from. And then of course they give you the line, do your research, right? And so I did my own research, and that's where I just learned a little more about who was a part of the organization and what some of the dishes were, just stuff like that, And I think
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of solidified it for me, and it made that decision all the easier for my interest. So that's where it came from.
Well, in the frat situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like to ask people that are in fraternities this question. Everybody has their favorite LB, but who your secret favorite LB? Who is somebody that like you might not even publicly fuck with, but that's your best friend. You fuck with this other nigga publicly, like, cause me it's Geo. I love Geo to death. Boy, I love Geo. That's my little baby boy. Look, Geo is my little baby. You feel me? I put a diaper on Geo, but like you feel me? But like I love Geo and everything. The light just go out. We still going. I don't know what happened right there, baby. Can you check out this light over there? Something fell. I don't know. We still going, bro. Look. We good.
There you go. I see lights came on.
I see the light just came on too. Hey, bro. Look, while I'm fixing this, bro, and we do got other lights. Hey, look, Black Positive TV, bro. Hey, say something. Just talk to the people, bro.
Talk to the people.
Talk to the people. This is your chance to talk to the people. I'm about to figure out this light situation. We gone, bro.
I mean, honestly, I can say anything right now. It's just keep focused on the straight and narrow, man. Keep whatever you got a goal, stay focused on it. You know, keep positive people around you, non yes men, but just people that are able to speak positivity into you and help you grow. And it's going to help water you. And you continue to do the same for them.
So, do you feel like a lot of people like are yes men? Like once you get to a certain level of success.
I would say from my experience, no, but I would also say from just viewing situations, I would say that don't involve me, I would say yes. But I think that there's a fine line between people that just genuinely support you. And I think that sometimes we don't know how to accept genuine support because it comes sometimes things come off like, well, why you
Mm.
pushing me so hard, or why do you it's so weird because it's weird to see people or to witness people that want to see you win, right?
Mm.
In that capacity, right? Like
You
someone that
you
wants
still
it,
in my questions, bro.
or somebody that wants it like almost like they want it more than you do for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you get back to your
So when you transition to this alpha man,
question.
and everybody know the most glorious thing that some people chase for, that some people work hard for, that some people, you feel me, any type of paperwork. but like, but like when you had your probate,
Mm-hmm.
what is one thing that you told your mom? Only reason I'm saying this because you failed out, like flunk, failed out, whatever twice. You've been through that situation, like, and now you starting to see people gravitate towards you in situation, whatever. What's one thing that you told your mom about this? Because I don't know if your mom was in a sorority or not. I'm not hip to anything like that. So like, what is like one thing you told her about like how everything just changed for you?
I just basically told her the expectation just went up a bit. I told her that these people are looked at on campus at a certain degree and to a certain extent. That people are gonna rely on me to be a certain way, right? And I can't steer too far away from that. Because I represent not only a student at the school now, but I'm also represented as an organ at the organization as a member of the organization at the school. So that's really what I told her. I told her, I'm like, man, I was like, I got a lot of work to do, a lot of expectations. Like, that's really it. But I think that that's just been happening my whole life. Like I get one place, I'm like, all right now, like I gotta work off of that to get to the next.
So like, do you understand how important it is to have like a patent? Like, for instance, people move with mannerisms with a patent that's put on him. Like if you in a gang, you from a hood, you in the, you know what I'm saying? But like you being an alpha man, what has that changed about you with having that patent on you? Like, what about you? Like to know, hey, I'm an alpha man. This is what comes with me. This is what, you know what I'm saying?
I do. I think just understanding that I have to live up to a certain standard as well as the company I keep, right? So just understanding that, whether it be wearing letters or whether it be just knowing that I'm a part of something specific, I had to understand that just a lot comes along with it. And a part of that patent or that brand is just also just is mentorship, mentor others, right? So I may not have wanted to be a mentor at a certain time to a certain person, but people come to you and they're looking for guidance or they're wanting to learn from you, they're wanting to know what you know. And in understanding that, I just knew I had a responsibility. And I think that point on, coming from that point, throughout the rest from up to current now, like I've provided mentorship and I've been open to it, even if my schedule may not have permitted it. Like I'll squeeze in time to provide insight, talk to somebody, that talk to somebody that doesn't know something that I do know that I'm well versed in. It can be something small. It could be a 30-minute conversation that has somebody hasn't had yet that they want to say, hey, I want to learn something from you, or about this and I would like for you to talk to me about it. So just paying that forward, I think, because that mentorship was a huge thing. And I think that that's something that stuck with me because I wasn't a mentor to anybody prior.
Mm.
And just that expectation was put on me. And I think that, that's something I do now voluntarily.
Stop stealing my notes.
Hey, they're right there, man. I can see them.
Stop. Look, I got notes in my head and the notes down. I'm just saying you be stealing my. So we gonna like you was. We gonna slow it down. Look, slow it down. I just dissed you. But like, look, bro. Look, who we got with us right now on Black Politics TV, bro?
You already know Bowman official on platforms.
So, brother, you already know the P's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Practice, performance, this and that. But I'm talking about some different P's: popularity and most prosperous. So when you go to, I want you to categorize your most popular alpha at Fellow State and your most prosperous alpha at Fellow State. Is that messy?
A little bit.
Okay. Just say okay. So can we do this? Who is somebody? How can we help me out?
I mean, I'll say this. I think this is probably the best answer I'll have for this in this lane of questioning. It's probably just the fact that like everybody from when I was there, everybody moved as a unit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
everybody knew the core. Like you may not even know individual names in the group
Mm-hmm.
in the chat, but you knew the core. So when I say when I look at popularity, it was us as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because those are some golden years for us, right? You look at prosperous. I mean, it was like we did everything as a unit in terms of like the growth, in terms of the accolades, in terms of winning things. That was also a joint thing. So it was everybody, honestly, that was there with us.
So can I take a moment to hate on some alphas right quick?
It's your podcast, man.
Hey, I want to shout out to my brother Eugene, bro. From B3 to everything he doing to being married to everything he got going. I'm like, bro, never stop. That's that alpha mentality. Like, you feel me? Dr. Sharp, bro. From being, you feel me? From being a B3 mentor, bro, to everything he got doing now. And even to you, bro, like, do you remember you like giving me my first interview?
I do. I do. I yeah, I do. And it's crazy. It's crazy how things come back full circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But that was almost 10 years ago now. Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
So when did you start growing the locks, bro? Like, are you?
It's been it was just I'm like 2 years, just over 2 years now. I had a little bit of hair before I got locked, but yeah, it was 2 years, September 26th. 2 years.
So who are some of your like influences now in life?
Honestly, at this point, and I can preface it by saying this: it really a lot of things changed a few years ago, probably during the pandemic for me, just in terms of learning myself and living for myself and understanding myself a lot more. But I'm gonna say influences. When I say influences, I mean there's people that I listen to or that I do take nuggets of information from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and say, and it sounds crazy because he's more of a peer, but like I listen to Tyler the Creator a lot,
Mm.
only because just the live out loud mentality, just to continue to push forward. And I think I can look at you as I can look at him as an influence because we're almost the same age, right? We're about the same age, and I can look at him from start to current. You see the growth, and it's different when you feel like you kind of grew up with somebody, right? And they're telling you the same thing that you already feel in your mind, so they're basically solidifying your feelings and your thoughts. So I definitely feel like Tyler the Creator is definitely one of them. I would also say, man, it might sound crazy, I don't know, but Shannon Sharp, like
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's unapologetic. I feel like him and Stephen A. Smith, man, like those guys are two HBCU alum, and he came to North Carolina this thing, but I watched them, I listened to them a lot. So even though I'm in the fashion space, like I grew up playing sports, and so like these are people that I watched from the time I gained interest in sports at all and athletics to now, and just to hear them being able to speak freely, having their own platforms, and two of them being together now, it just influences me. It tells me anything is possible, no matter where you come from, no matter where you start. Because I watched an interview the other day with Shannon Sharp. He said he didn't know what running water was until he got to college.
Mm-hmm.
He thought you had to go outside to do everything when you get
Mm-hmm.
water. He didn't know that. So just being able to watch and listen and learn from people that have been places places that situations that weren't I was not in, right, I can't speak on, But just being able to see what they got going on and to see how they propel forward and see how they continue to grow, it shows me that we're never done learning and we're never done growing. So those will probably be some of the biggest influences to me on like a broad scale right now.
So when you say we never stop learning and
Mm-hmm.
we never stop growing,
Yeah,
do you look at your daughter and be like, man,
yeah,
man,
every day.
like, cause like, okay, so a lot of, do you understand like what our parents was saying now? Like you be so particular and so precious and so what's it? Because you be like, do you know you really created a human? And
Uh,
like,
yeah, I think, man, it's and like you said it right. It's like every now and then you just like, man, like that's my little person. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Even though they're not as little anymore, it's just like you still have that mindset. Like of course, because you watch them grow.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, it's just like every now and then I'm just looking at my man. Like especially when they look like you and you see how they kind of start to act like you. It really it's very heartwarming. But it's also you understand the responsibility as well when you think about raising your child and like protecting your child and just,
mm-hmm,
just being present for them, and especially if it's in a capacity that you didn't have, right? But I think the
mm-hmm.
goal is always to raise your child and make them better than what you are or what you are now, what you ever plan to be, right? Like I have high aspirations for myself and I have a lot more life to live, but like I want her to supersede that tenfold.
Let's
You know what I'm
talk father
saying?
facts then.
Huh.
Father facts. What are three things that you know for a fact that your daughter got from you? Whether it's something that she eat, how she walk, like you know, you like, yo, wow.
Well, she got my feet. That's one.
Yeah.
We always say that she got my feet. But nah, that's one. That is one for real.
Okay.
But also, nah, I think she's got my social skills. I think
Okay.
that being able to watch her make friends so easy. Even though I was a quiet kid, like it was always somehow I was able to connect with other kids. So I would say that's probably one. Excuse me, two or three. I'm sorry, three. I'd have to say her entrepreneurial spirit.
Entrepreneur spirit at 12?
11 to be
Or
12 next month.
yeah, 11?
But at 11, she wants to,
Boy, that's senior then, boy.
yeah. So
Boy.
she'll watch, she used to watch me making shirts all the time, or packaging orders, and folding stuff, and writing on my dry erase board,
What?
and I'm talking to her about profit margin,
Mm-hmm.
about getting your supplies and your things at a certain price point and selling them at this,
Mm.
and just how to calculate
So you
margin
having
and make.
those talks at that age?
Oh, you have to. So
Wow.
because I mean, I'm not telling my child like, oh, don't do anything but be an entrepreneur. But it's a beautiful thing when she says, I want to sell stuff. I want to. Dad, can you make me a website? Can you show me how to make a website? I know I can't sell stuff at school. I'm not allowed to, but can I get a website? Because I want to make bracelets. I want to
Okay,
do
so if we slow it down, what age was she when she said, Daddy, I want to make a website?
10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably been in her mind since she was 7
Yeah, just
or
being
8. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just the confidence
yeah,
that she built up to say, Dad, all right. Because she probably done been working on Minecraft or,
yeah.
you know, anything. And then it's just like, okay, I'm serious now.
Yeah,
Hear me.
it's dope. It is dope. It's dope to
Yeah.
see, when I'll be in there, like, prepping for a large order, homecoming, for example. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Just, I might be making 100 to 200 units, and she'll come in and be like, what you need me to do? You need me to fold? You want me to size them? Like, she'll come in and just help me do through the process, and of course, I think she also sees in the revenue return. So, I'll make X amount of dollars and I'll give her something, or I'll put it in her bank account. And she's like, oh, I get it, right? And so I think that's a huge point for her, that she likes to make money. So she likes to be able to, because in our households we tell people like, you
Yeah.
got this money, you got
Yeah.
McDonald's money,
Yeah.
you got this, and she be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I do, like
I do. Because you
so
showed her. And
exactly,
so you're being an entrepreneur. Like, I'm going to give you your props right now, bro. Before we bump the notes, bro. We going to get back into that. But before right now, bro, I just want to let you know, like, like, you teaching entrepreneurship to your child, bro. You teaching her how to be a leader. Like, you showing her, like, hey, this is what it takes: hard work, dedication, and this is what you get from it. X amount of X amount. So at 11, you already know what X amount gonna equal.
yeah,
So like, and you a father, and you a black male. Can we just get a? I ain't look. Can we look? I'm just give you my own look.
Hey, nah, that's for all of them. You
Look, I'm
included. That's for
telling you, bro.
everybody, bro.
Hey,
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
we
So I
all
got you.
try hard, bro, and we all do our best, bro. But like, nobody like gives black fathers those claps and those tears and those hugs to let them know, like, yo, that's crazy. Because you gotta think about it. If your daughter was acting out, getting suspended, and being wild, everybody would be posting about you on social media. People need to be posting about social media the fact that you are a positive outlet. You are a positive outlet, brother.
Appreciate that, man. I really do. Yes, I think, I think it's tough that we even have to promote being good fathers. I think that whole conversation is like, that's another one to be had. But like the fact that we have to push it because it's not expected sometimes, or it's not praised as much, is it's a constant. I feel like it's a constant battle that I have with myself because it's like, man, we have to acknowledge black fathers, but it's like, dang, we have to acknowledge black fathers, like so.
But then it doesn't it make you like look more weak just saying I'm an independent, strong father. Don't nobody help me. Me and my daughter, and we doing good. And blah blah blah. She reading on a 12th grade, we 11, blah blah. And she painting this new, and she helping me. Come on, bro.
Nah, that's
No,
true too.
they'll look at your
I
status
agree.
and say, "Al, take that shit
Yeah,
down."
I get what you're saying.
Nobody cares about you being an independent black father and take care of your daughter and doing what you're doing. Like that is part of the chessboard.
That's true.
That's why we move less and we think more.
That's true. I agree. I couldn't have said it better.
So moving less and think more. You was in the fashion society.
Man, I've
Mm-hmm.
been all over different places of fashion thus far. So I actually was not in the fashion society,
Hold
but
up, you wasn't in
mm-mm,
Black Millennium? You sure? Is that real facts? You wasn't in Black Millennium.
yeah.
Okay.
But um,
We're
no,
gonna have to fact check that.
no. So but my thing was I always like dressing up, and I was around a lot of people that were in the Black Millennium. So I think that probably was how it, you know,
Okay, okay.
yeah. So of course, yeah. So I was around, but I just wasn't a member.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, no, I just like dressing up, man, and before I became an alpha, like I wasn't on campus. I was a commuter and I wasn't hanging out on campus. But once that did happen, I think that propelled me to be on campus more, to be active, engaged and stuff. So that actually, I was like, okay, let me put some clothes on. So I started dressing up and stuff more to class, and more like dress clothes, suit and ties and stuff like that. And I just love the different color combinations I could put together. I run to the thrift store, grab things, or I grab a tie offline, and I'd like to just mix and match things. So that's really where it started for me in terms of just putting stuff on.
So you mentioned it, so we gotta talk about it. Talking about alphas, and then you talk about putting shit on. What is how can I my fault, but like what's one alpha like you was looking at like, yo, he fly and he put that shit on and everybody know him. What's somebody that you was idolizing, bro? Like you ain't trying to, man, you better get somebody their props,
I
bro.
mean, like
Who you
I
can't
didn't
say that
I
you
didn't
ain't.
idolize anybody, but if I could
Cause,
say
cause to me, if I wanted to be an alpha at that time, bro, Eugene, bro, or
that's true.
Kobe and Eugene, bro. I ain't gonna lie, they were like super alphas, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like Kobe and Eugene,
And,
super
and
alphas,
so
bro.
and
Like,
so like for me, and that's the thing. Like I felt like I didn't idolize anybody specifically, but I could see myself in their shoes. That's what it was. I was like, man, I can see myself. I guess if that counts as that,
yeah,
it kind of does, right? Because I'm
yeah.
like, man, I see where, and I can see myself being where you are, and I want to be there. So I
Hmm.
would say that no. So I can say that, yeah, for sure.
And
Those
then
would
when
be.
Mike became a
Let's see.
alpha,
Let's
I
see.
was like, oh man, man. Like I'm telling you, bro. Like,
That was a perfect fit, right?
I'm, man. But it just like I was still a party boy and everything. I just felt like I didn't even meet y'all criteria, bro. Like you feel me? Like with everything, bro. Like you know how everybody like search everything, and it's just like reason why I fell in love with Sigma because I was like, yo, they accept all different type of people and such, and we know the stereotypes that come with each fraternity, and, you know what I'm saying. I love Sigma, bro. Like I'm proud of my fraternity, bro. But if we speaking like facts on my podcast, if my grades was right, and I want and like you feel me? Cause man, I was looking at up to Eugene, bro. I was looking up Dr. Sharp, bro. I knew that I couldn't be drunk and be still smoking around Dr. Sharp, bro. I ain't talking about none of my like potential LBs or anything on that line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Spring 15, I don't know the name of y'all line, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ours was not our play. Like, but I was just saying, bro, like it was certain people, bro, like that you wasn't afraid of and that you idolized, bro. Like even in my fraternity, bro, like I idolized and I was afraid of certain people, bro. So I'm just asking you, like, who are some of those people, bro? That like you really was like, yo, like hit me back, bro. Like you feel, you feel?
I mean, I don't know,
I'm trying to
man.
pull it out of you, man.
It's a tough question because it just wasn't like that for me. I think that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think about it, I didn't come in as a freshman. I didn't have anybody like bringing me in a certain way. I just saw something that I saw interest in. I made contact, and I was told to do my own research and then just find understanding because you got to think about it. I came in as a transfer. I had to wait a whole year anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just took more time to learn. I took more time to be involved. I took more time to just make myself familiar, whether it was just saying what's up, and not being afraid to do that. Just saying, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Or to have class with somebody and just get to know somebody normally, right? Because I think that at times we get to that point, or people get to a point in life where they treat people as though they're at a certain tier or level. And for me, I guess because I was already 23 years old, so I guess I didn't look at it like
But you already came with you gotta think about it, bro. And that's the same thing I was telling CJ. Y'all already had a different respect level put on y'all because y'all already you and CJ got daughters. Okay, let's put it there. Both of y'all had daughters, and people looked at y'all for the Kappa reason and the Alpha reason. People looked at y'all for a different like level of respect, bro. So before people respected you like on what you got going on at Pebble State, people was like, "Yo, you here and you got a whole daughter, bro, and like you got stuff going." So like I'm really trying to pull that out of you, bro. Like, who somebody came and talked to you, or somebody. I want that conversation or that situation when somebody say, "Yo, you bound to be an alpha man." Hey, it ain't no illegal stuff.
no, no, no.
It
You
ain't no
good.
criminal
That's just
activity.
not how it went for me. That's all it
It
is.
didn't
No, I went.
for
I
real.
said, this is what I want.
Facts.
That was it. I said, this is what I went.
So you went in like tight with no alphas or like
Yeah, I mean, I knew one.
see,
I knew one.
see, why are we capping on the
But
podcast, man?
that's not.
Why are we
I didn't.
capping on the
I didn't.
podcast?
But I knew this person as like a little one. They were younger, much younger than me. So I knew them at one point, and I ran into them at school, and you know what I'm saying, they had already got.
Do you mind sharing anything?
I was Cody. Yeah,
And
it was
so
Cody.
so you can't cap like y'all relationship and he seeing you grow and him being a prominent person and a B3 mentor didn't have something to do with your influence on wanting to be an alpha.
Now you say in my influence, I mean, I think that he was someone that I
Especially
knew.
y'all being friends and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
seeing
we
what
were
he was
friends.
on.
Yeah,
He
we were
was
friends.
on straight positive. He was the
So
next Barack Obama. He was Barack Obama before Barack
I would say
Obama.
with that,
Say you want though.
no, with Cody.
Yeah.
So specifically with Cody, man, I seen him when I got to school, and I said what's up to him, and but I didn't know anything at the time when I first ran
Mm-hmm.
into him, right? And so then I saw him again, after the little, back to school show they do, you see everybody out there, and I said what's up to him then, and of course I asked him about it, right? But I just asked him about what it is, and I didn't know, I knew nothing, so I asked him, and we had that conversation. And it's just like I was like, okay, cool, but like it was not a I'm looking up and just every day just so it wasn't like that for me. I was the type of person because honestly, it wasn't a thing I was trying to do when I got to school. I was just trying to graduate. My goal was to graduate. My goal was to be academically sound, get my grades together, and get out of there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't realize I was only there for 2.5 years. I graduated
Mm.
early,
Hold
so
on, hold on, hold on. You
most
was
people
on
don't
there
know
for 2.5 years.
5
So
semesters.
hold on, hold on. You was on there for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
What years was that? Because I got a
I
cap
got
check
there
in there.
August. Let's do it.
I got a cap
I
check on
got
there.
there August of 2013,
August
and I
2013. Okay,
graduated
I was there.
and
August
I
2013.
graduated December 2015. That's 5 semesters.
So that means you crossed in the spring 2015,
And I graduated in the
and you
fall.
graduated in the fall. Then you was
Uh-huh.
so you was really on there for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
was supposed to
crazy.
graduate in 2016. I graduated early because I took summer school 2 years in a row.
So like, why was people gravitating towards you? Why was people saying like, oh, and be around Abby and Abby got doing this, and you was doing the podcast before people doing podcasts. You was, you know what I'm saying, doing the freestyles, like, you know what I'm saying, the Fayetteville State and the Fayetteville freestyles, like you was involved in a lot of things. Why was people gravitating towards you and you talk about only a 2-year reign?
I think honestly, if I'm speaking just candidly, I just feel like I've always had a different mindset in terms of just like what I want and what I want to display to people. I feel like I've always been the same. I've had moments where I decide to just live out loud a bit more and show and personify what it is that I'm thinking and just put ideas out there. And so I think that back then, it's hard to facilitate. It's hard to get people together, but I was in a department, right? I had a bit more access because I was a mass comm student. I had access to the TV studio. I had
Mm-hmm.
access to the camera equipment. I had access to people that were dedicated and wanted to make something greater and wanted to come together as a collective. So I was able to go say, hey, such and such, like, you want to do this with me? Hey, such and such, you want to go over here? And I had a professor that was like, hey, they'll get credit for it. So I was able to get a team together and make things happen. And I think that started a lot for me. But I realized that at this point, I do the same thing now. I just do it at a different scale.
On a different scale, bro. And we take it left, we take it right. This is a great interview. I don't want to mess it up. A light done fell, and I done messed it up before. So I got to mess it up a second time.
So,
I got to use the bathroom, bro. I got to pee, bro. But I ain't about to stop this, bro. I need you to talk to the people, bro. I need you to just get your own little confession in and blah, blah, and just do something, bro. I got to pee, bro. But I can't stop this, bro. We've been going for an hour. This is like my second longest interview. Got Albie, a person I look up to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you already know, bro. Like, from
for sure, for sure.
fashion to everything, bro. Like, you even put me in my first interview, bro. Like, so the respect level is there. So I'm just asking you, can you respect me in my career to let me use the restroom while you just give a little? Because we not cutting this off.
Hey, that's too easy,
All
bro.
right,
That's too
I'll be
easy.
back.
That completes my Al talk. And
Hey, look, man. I just had to take a little intermission. You already know we lit. It's Black Politics TV, bro. We got my big bro Al B coming through, bro. So I want to ask you, bro, what's some of your like biggest influence on fashion?
I'm gonna definitely go ahead and go say Kanye. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I
Big
think
Easy fan?
Brand or him specifically?
Nah, like Yeezy fan in the fashion. We talking
Yeah,
fashion.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would definitely say so. I mean, I would probably say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably like a 7. There's some
Mm.
things that I like, some things I don't like. At the end of the day, we can see people wear stuff. I mean, it might not always be for us, right? But we may like it. But I definitely say yay. And I mean, I guess I'm kind of pulling a lateral move when I say Jerry Lorenzo, because they kind of come from the same, they're under that same tree.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry Lorenzo is a big, excuse me, Jerry Lorenzo is a big influence on mine, just in terms of like minimalism, neutral tones. It's very the simplistic athleisure, the simplistic way to be fashionable. I think that he kind of brought that in, at least for me. And having an opportunity to meet him some years ago, I think also kind of plays a role in that. So I've always kind of kept up with what he's doing, what he's got on. I would also say, I say Tyler. I think Tyler brought back some styles. He's brought
Mm-hmm.
back styles, integrated styles, but that he's kind of mixed the streetwear. But he's also brought in now he's got like the golf line and stuff like that. So I think he's one of those guys. I think that just makes everything okay to be right. So I can see him do something. I'm like, okay, like it's acceptable, right? Or he's pushing the envelope, but it's acceptable.
You play
Um,
golf?
do I play golf? I have, but I'm not an avid golf player
Okay,
anymore. Yeah, yeah, no,
I just
respect.
had to just jump in there on
But
that.
I would say those are definitely some of my biggest like just fashion people I watch now. But I think and Pharrell,
Mm-hmm.
I like the edge Pharrell puts on his stuff, even though it has a humbleness to it and an edge to it. So with him being creative director of Louis V, it's pretty dope to watch. So I watch his runway shows and stuff, and I see what he's doing. I respect it.
So I have a brother, or it's actually my god brother, like
Mm-hmm.
Rob Parker. He got the brand Emotions, and like one of his quotes is "Fashion is therapy." Do you believe that fashion is therapy for you? Because like, can we go back to HBCU's Fried Chicken Wednesdays,
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about like fashion being therapy, and
Yeah,
even like you came today in the relaxed mode, they had you in an hour and a half traffic, like you still fresh to death, man.
appreciate
Like,
that.
is fashion really therapy for you? Like, how you living?
I 1,000% agree with that. I feel like for me personally, like I always say, fashion. Fashion is what feelings look like. You know what I'm saying? So with that, it's it's your fashion depending on how you feeling could depend on what you put on, depending on how you dress, depending on how it looks on you even, right? So I think it's very important. I think that I have some days where I don't want to put anything on or I don't feel like dressing up, but that's also a day where I'm not in a good, I may not be in a good headspace or I may not be feeling well or I may not just care that day, right?
So what
So
put you in a bad headspace? Yeah, we cutting that question out. What put you in a bad headspace?
Negative energy. I think what I'm saying. Seeing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of bad going on in the world. Just exhaustion. I think those things can put me in a bad headspace specifically. Just sometimes bad news. Just long work days. But long. Hard days don't last long. So
So if somebody texts you too many times, like, do that put you in a bad headspace?
nah. I mean, it's just a text. I mean, I think more so if it's something going, what I'm saying, something going on that really, I do a good job of removing myself out of things that have nothing to do with me. So if it's directly associated with me and I have to handle it, right, I'm gonna handle it because that's what I'm supposed to do. Um, but of course, it can put me in a bad headspace, just being exhausted, tired, or just internalizing things because it's black men, we internalize a lot. So I think that's that could definitely be a thing. Yeah, it can put me in a bad headspace.
So what is like what's some like artists you listen to today?
Oh man, I listen to a lot of Don Tolliver. I listen to a lot of Lucky Day. I listen to a lot of K Tronada. Who else I listen to a lot? I was Bryson Tiller. Um, man, I mean, of course you listen to like the Drakes and the Kanyes and the Kendricks, and of course I listen to a lot of Cole, right? I mean, that's a given. So I think I try to stay upon like good storytelling, feel good music, good vibes. Listen to a lot of Lord Anderson Pack, a lot of Anderson Pack. The stuff that puts me in a good headspace, right? Those are current artists, but I listen to a lot of older artists as well. But those are a lot of ones I listen to right
So how important is like your mental health as a black man? Because like all the songs and the artists that you mentioned is like high level vibrations and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
high level conversations.
Right.
Shout out to 19 Keys. Like you feel me? But
Yeah.
just like high level conversations and high level what I'm saying, vibrations. So like how do you choose your music? How do you pick your music? What music is important to your ears?
Honestly, I just, I really just get tired, and I think I had this conversation just recently, as today actually, about the state of hip hop and where we're at, and I think that at times, man, oh man, I gotta hold on. I didn't mention I listen to Andre 3000. It's my favorite artist, so just had to put that out there. But anyway, so yeah, man, I think that it just really depends on my mood, but it's just like I listen to what makes me feel good production wise, and then more so message, right? I think that's what occupies most of it. But if, of course, we're sonic, everything's audible, right? If it can keep up, if it can hold our attention, if it sounds good, we're gonna listen to it regardless. It doesn't matter what they say, right? Unless you're listening for a message specifically. So I think the first thing I look for is what sounds good, right? And then I go more into how it makes me feel in terms of like what they're saying. That's how I break it down.
Definitely. So, what like mentor programs have you assisted in, and what mentor programs are you willing to assist in?
Hmm. So I mean, as of recently, I mean this year I've worked with the Tulsa Initiative. That's a mentoring platform. I've assisted with Roots mentoring, and I've also mentored and these are all nonprofits. I've also assisted with not assisted with I actually worked with the Seventh Foundation, which we've been doing work together since 2016. And this year, we have mentorship programs to where we go into schools or, we adopt a classroom, we provide back to the community, more so to educators in the community. So those are the ones I work with. That's this year specifically. I work with all those.
So, can I shed light on something?
Mm-hmm.
Out of those, okay, before I say that, when you're involved in street gang, you involved in a church, you involved in a fraternity, a sorority, whether it's positive or negative, those come with connections. So the things that you've been involved in, what percentage of those are actually alpha men?
100, 100%, every single one.
So if you wouldn't have made the decision that you made, do you feel like you would still be the man you are today? And like before you answer that question though, because like you got people who, what I'm saying, pledge allegiance to gangs at
Mm-hmm.
14, 15. You got people who, what I'm saying, like chose their job
Right,
and say their job wouldn't be, what I'm saying, their job wouldn't have made the man they was today. You got people who, what I'm saying, and then it comes to our like essence. We went to Fayetteville State. We chose fraternities and we didn't chose the street life.
right,
And those fraternities have something to do in the hidden my fault, in the hidden inner mechanisms of our mind. It has something to do with like what we chose. So like, how you feel, brother?
I feel like you're 100% accurate. And I feel like, I mean, there's been times where I just sit down and I'm grateful for my decision because of where it got me to today. And I can't say whether I would or would not have because I had the same mindset, but I think the connections granted me a different avenue to get where I am. So, yeah, that's 1000% accurate. I definitely the relationships that I built, the people that I've met, the brothers that I've gained, I mean, it certainly was it's a defining reason to where I'm at right now. And I mean, it's not to say I may or may not have gotten to this point, but I don't know how long it would have took. I don't know what the relationship building would have been like. I don't know anything, but I specifically know that I'm surrounded and I'm in an ecosystem of people that
Yeah.
do a lot of great things that we found ways to work together to make things even greater. So, yeah.
How can you make the world greater today?
Honestly, I just think, man, actually, beautiful. I have a simple answer for me at least. Just, I just think giving grace, man, to more people, more situations, and to myself. I think oftentimes we're too hard on ourselves. We're stressing all the time. We're hard on other people. We lash out. We take things, but it's like I have to constantly remind myself to give grace to myself and those around me because none of us are perfect. We're born imperfect. We're gonna die imperfect. And I think giving more grace across the world will make the world a better place and improve the world around us.
So when the last time you gave more grace?
Man, probably myself. Like recently, man, I think naturally I'm hard on myself, and that's why I have to keep telling myself to give myself grace because if I say I'm gonna knock all this stuff out today and I don't do it, I'm in bed like, dang, man, I'm tripping. Like I ain't gonna get nothing done, or I ain't gonna get where I want to be because I ain't going hard enough. And it's just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll come, and you got tomorrow. We can go to bed and wake up. It's gonna be tomorrow. God willing, and you'll have the opportunity to continue to move forward. So that's the last time I gave grace. I gave it to myself.
Facts, bro. So like, what are you planning on eating in the future? Like, what is something that you want to like eat that you haven't ate?
Bro, I've been craving some hibachi. That was an easy one. I just was talking to somebody. I'm craving like some hibachi or like, well, mainly hibachi, but I'll take a Chinese plate right now from China Garden too. Like I just something in that realm is definitely calling my name. So yeah,
Can you cook?
I cook a little bit. Yeah, I cook a little bit.
Definitely, man. But we got LB, man. Like, you feel me? Like, how you doing today, my brother?
Bro, I woke up this morning, so I'm blessed. I know that's the super, cookie cutter answer, but no, I think I'm doing well. I'm in a good headspace, planning a lot for the future, and just just being appreciative and being grateful of what I have, and into what's to come. So yeah, I'm in a good season right now.
But bro, just showing love, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you coming through on the podcast,
Oh
bro.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it, man. Appreciate what you're doing, man.
I mean, I appreciate it too, bro, but what would the podcast be without some natural sarcasm? Like, I seen your stomach was rumbling, so I definitely gave you a gift. So so whenever like you feel me, you get hungry,
Yeah,
just think of Black Politics TV. He thought about, you know what I'm saying, all the alphas out there in the world. But my boy LB came through, man. You gave me my first interview, bro. Like when I was young, bro, 2015, and it's crazy now that I'm looking at it. You was doing that in the time you was about to leave out,
yeah.
like, and you know what I'm saying. And you did the freestyles. You was doing a lot of stuff, bro. Like,
Crazy story about that. Actually, now cause it's all coming back to me about that. That was actually my internship, my senior year of my
mm,
life. Yeah, so basically, I couldn't intern at the radio station because I knew everybody there already, based on my relationships prior to me being there, and just doing production and everything that I was doing at the time. So I got to run my own internship and be a project manager and producer and oversee, a show. And
mm.
that's what I got to do. So that was my internship, and everybody got credit. And I look back on that now, and I'm like, man, Professor Berry was fired for that. She was dope. So I appreciate her, but that gave me the platform to also, pour into others. So, yeah, right. I didn't even really think about it, man. Kind of came and went.
So like, do you write music or like you do poetry or anything?
That's a loaded question. I used to write. Well, I used to be heavily involved in music. Man, I dropped like what 4 or 5 mixtapes probably from
Mm-hmm.
like 2010 to like 2015, 2016. Actually, beginning 2016 is when I dropped my last one. But I kind of rerouted and got heavy into the fashion space, and I think I definitely reaped a lot of benefits from that and making that pivot. I don't write poetry, but man, I will go through a whole scenario in my head, man, and I will create something in my brain. Excuse me. I'll never say it out loud, right? Or I'll freestyle to myself in the house, but I just think that's just ideas and just being creative. I think it just come out naturally.
So Black Politics TV, man. Who we got with us today?
Oh yeah, Al Bowman official. You already know all platforms.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.